and welcome to another Narjan Reacts. In this video, I'm reacting to the final episode for Gravity Falls. Plus, I'll be reacting to a special bonus after my thoughts for the final episode. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Ford to take over the world, but we rescued him and he showed us Bill's secret weapon.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss the series, but at the same time, I'm glad it's wrapping up. I'd rather see a series be short and wrap up versus a series that's kept going, SpongeBob, way longer than it needs to. Just be milked for money.
You brainiacs know the Zodiac doesn't work if you don't all hold hands? And what's better,
oh, they knew. It's just
every threat
two
to my
certain brothers decided to bicker.
Oh no! Ah, my hair!
Ah, my hair also!
What are you two?
You've gone too far, Cypher!
Yeah, we're not scared of you.
Oh,
It's so weird to see Gideon working with them, but... oh, they got frog pupils.
Oh no!
All of them, but...
This castle could really use some decoration! No, don't do it!
Yeah, Bill makes bad deals.
Don't you toy with me,
Bill
shooting
makes bad
star.
deals.
I see everything!
Oh,
Again, why?
pepper sprays him in the eye.
Time? Nice shot, Pumpkin!
Aw, Pumpkin, that's good.
Generated that eye.
I know.
I
that
just
person
generated that eye.
I've accidentally done it to myself multiple times.
Of course you would. Maybe can you trap him in there?
Run!
No, never mind. He made it himself, so...
I've got some children I need to make into corpses.
See you real soon.
No! No! No!
Jeez, Bill.
What do we do? What do we do?
Jiminy
When I
Christmas.
get my hands on you kids, I'm gonna disassemble your molecules!
He runs into a wall.
You've tricked me for the last time!
Second time. No, third time.
Oh, I can't believe this. The kids are gonna die and it's all my fault.
Are you two gonna
Because I
make
couldn't
up?
shake your
Please,
stupid
have a talk.
hand.
Don't blame yourself.
Yes, the
I'm
heart-to-heart
one who made a
conversation
deal with
they
Bill
need.
in the first place. Well, the world's about to end and they still work together. How do they do it?
Easy. They're kids. They don't know any better.
They don't hold any
Where do you
grudges
come
either.
I'm gonna play the only card we have left. But at least he might let the kids free.
What?
The kids will die anyway if you do
honestly
that.
telling-
What other choice do we have?
Let Mabel and Dipper handle it?
When one door closes, choose a nearby wall and bash it in with brute force.
I would think that would weigh a lot.
Now let's round up the townsfolk and together.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd laugh if she went, ow, 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 ow.
You'll never take us alive, monsters!
That's fine with us. No.
Okay, at least it's not Waddles.
Good choice.
Don't do it, Ford. It'll destroy the universe.
It's the only way!
Oh, even when you're about to die,
Oh, wait.
the Pines twins just can't get along.
No, Gurgle Ford, don't trust him.
I mean, let's be honest, Bill's gonna go back on it.
Deal!
He didn't say not kill them or torture them or something. He can do all those things to them. What if they go into...
Oh, I'm here.
What if they go
I'm
into
finally here.
Stanford's mind and they
Look
fight him
at
in
this
there?
place. You really know how to clear your... What?
Do a pretty good impression of my brother, don't I?
Oh, they did a
No one can
swap!
tell us apart. Welcome to my mind. Surprised you didn't recognize it.
It's already empty, so I guess...
You idiot! Don't you realize you're destroying your own mind too?
It's not like I was using this space for much anyway.
Let me out of here! Let me out! Why isn't this working?
You're a real wise guy, but you made one fatal mistake. You messed with my family.
You're making
Yeah.
a mistake. I'll give you anything. Money, fame, riches, infinite power, your own galaxy, please! No!
What's happening to me?
Stanley!
I gotta forget about them, Izzy.
Guess I was good for something after all.
It looks a lot worse on the inside than the outside. Oh, no, let him take the gnome. Good thing everything reverses. Oh. Bye, fighter.
Oh my gosh! Uncle Stan, you did it!
Oh, hey there, kiddo. What's your name?
I knew it.
Uncle Stan?
We had to erase his mind to defeat Bill. It's all gone. Stan has no idea, but he did it. He saved the world. He saved me. You're our hero, Stanley.
No! No, I'm not tearing up. Oh, sure, everything else gets reversed, but the shack gets destroyed. Oh, wait, actually, they brought the turned the shack into a robot, so I'm surprised it's even there.
Hey, this is a real nice place you got here.
It's your place, Grunkle Stan.
Hey, why the long faces? You guys look like it's someone's funeral. Who's that big guy crying in the corner?
Poor
Save the world, but what's the point?
There's gotta be something around here that can help bring him back. This'll work.
What the?
This has to work.
I'm sorry. I don't know what this is or who you are or... God, quit it, Waddles. I'm trying to remember my life story.
What did you say?
Remember, it's
I said, get
Waddles.
Waddles off of me.
It's working. Keep reading.
Hey, just because I have amnesia, don't go trying to give yourself a raise, Zeus.
It's happening. Keep going.
Okay, okay. Day
That was
2.
easy.
Grunkle Stan smells weird, but we're starting to bond.
Was it really that easy? Nothing is your fault. Oh. Not Woody Woodpecker.
Get out of here, you ornery critters!
Oh, they're still there.
Ah, good as new. Oh, looks like you've got a friend.
Robbie, would you be a dear and get us the sawed-off shotgun?
Fine. Whatever.
Brains and so forth.
No,
Oh my God, the
none
mayor.
of that, thank you.
What do we say?
Never mind all that.
And if you break the rules, we're gonna zap you.
Zap, zap! We're mad with power!
And love.
In other news, the Northwest family has gone
He really did
after
push it with them
pledging
being
allegiance
more
to
than
Bill
friends.
and placing all his savings in weirdness bonds. Preston Northwest had to sell his mansion to preserve his family fortune.
Aw, what a shame.
You're only going to have one pony now. But fortunes have
Oh,
also turned for
no.
local maniac Fiddleford McGucket.
Hey, that one's for sale!
In other good news, town hero Stanley Pines has fully recovered his memory and will be throwing
Yay!
a party to celebrate his niece
You
and
know, that
nephew's
felt kinda
13th
easy.
birthday and final day in town. With sports.
It's called Death Ball.
Is that not to Halo's Death Ball?
Thanks to y'all saving us, I learned to open my heart to kindness. No more evil doing. From now on, I'm gonna try to be a little Gideon, regular old kid.
Okay.
Busting a move on this skating board.
More like busting your pants, loser.
Can we not bully Gideon so he goes back to being bad? We a little me.
Dude, make a wish, dog.
If I had only one wish, it would be to shrink all of you with the shrink ray and bring you home with us in my pocket. But since that's impossible, is that impossible?
It's like,
Probably impossible.
probably.
My only wish.
I now officially declare you technically teenagers. Welcome to Angst
Oh
and
my
Acne
God.
Forever. When are you gonna open your presents already? I broke a nail wrapping them.
Pacifica.
how do you break a nail wrapping a present?
Stanley, I need to talk to you. I didn't want to say anything with everyone listening, but we've got a problem. Weirdmageddon has been contained, but I'm detecting some strange new anomalies near the Arctic Ocean. I want to go investigate it, but I think I might be too old to go it alone.
Are you saying you need someone to help you sail around the world in the adventure of a lifetime?
I don't just want someone to come with me, Stanley. I want it to be you. Will you give me a second chance?
Everyone, I have an announcement to make. Me and my nerdy
Are they
bro
gonna
over
leave it
here
in the
have some
hands of
catching
Dipper
up
or
to do.
Mabel?
We're gonna be
Or
away
Zeus?
for a while. That's why I'm shutting down the Mystery Shack for good.
You shut down your mouth for good! I'm sorry, Mr. Pineses. It's just that this shack is the most magical place on Earth. Sure, the attractions are all fake,
I thought that was
but
Disney World,
dreams aren't
or Disney.
fake. Like this mermaid. It's not just a dead fish butt sewn to a monkey carcass. It's a marvelous creature that makes us believe that anything is possible. You shut down this shack, and you shut down our dreams! At least, my dreams.
Have a heart, you
I'm
two.
sorry, Seuss. It's just there's no one around to run it. At least there wouldn't be if I hadn't just found the perfect
I was
replacement.
gonna say, give it to Seuss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mystery Shack is under new management.
You mean it, Mr. Mystery?
You're Mr. Mystery now, Seuss. Try not to burn the place down.
I'll move in immediately.
Man, when she says immediately, she means it like literally.
Do you really have to go? There's still so
Can't they
much
come
more
back
to
every
do
summer?
together. Uncle Stan, thanks for wearing my goodbye sweater.
It's cold out. I had to.
What? But it's like
Right.
80-something degrees out today.
Can it, Seuss?
Hey, you mean a lot to me, man.
You too.
Aw. Oh, that's
Something
cute.
to remember me by. Oh, and this. Read it the next time you miss Gravity Falls.
Can he miss it now? And read it? Read it, read it, read it, read it.
Last bus leaving Gravity Falls. All aboard.
Guess we've said goodbye to everyone except Waddles.
Waddles!
I don't know how to explain this, but Mom and Dad won't let me bring a pig home to California, so you
I
have
don't think
to
you can even
stay
keep pigs
here.
in California unless you live on a farm.
Come on, come on. I have to go. I'm sorry, Waddles.
You know what? Forget it. I lived with this pig all summer. Now your parents are gonna have to. Hey, bus guy! This pig is coming with the kids.
Now, hold on a second. Bringing animals aboard a moving vehicle is strictly prohibited by...
Okay, you two.
Welcome aboard. You can sit in
Uncles,
the
oh
front
my
row,
God.
pig.
We'll miss you too, Uncle Stan.
Ready to head into the unknown?
Nope. Let's do it.
Goodbye, good boy. Good friends, goodbye. You gonna read the letter?
If you've ever taken a road trip through the Pacific Northwest, you've probably seen a bumper sticker for a place called Gravity Falls.
Gnomes.
Well, I've moved in.
It's not on any maps, and most people have never heard of it. Some people
Somebody needs to
think
make
it's
a
myth.
Gravity Falls, like a real one.
But if you're curious, don't wait. Take a trip. Find it. It's out there.
I like the
somewhere in the
piano
woods.
version of the theme
Wait.
song. Read it, read it, read it. Come on, Dipper. Also, there's always next summer they can go back. This isn't like a final goodbye. And that's it. Ooh, nice shot. Good show. Or a great show, I should say. Thank you to Alex and everyone who brought this show to life. Interesting, it says Rough Draft Korea. Oh, all I kissed. my god. Freaking Mabel. So does that mean this was animated by a Korean studio? Interesting. What did that mean? What did that mean? No, you're not, no. What did that mean? Isn't that a real life video? That looks like real life. Is there like a freaking Bill statue somewhere? I wanna know what this means. I wanna know what it means. Alright, no. Let me turn the display off. I know I usually do my thoughts on my other screen, but this time I'll do it here since after my thoughts, I'm gonna go right into the bonus that I'll be reacting to. But yeah, okay, so I'll give my thoughts for the last episode for the plot. I mean, to be honest, this was honestly for the last episode, it felt very fast. Like everything in it not felt rushed. I feel like the time was enough time was given for the everything after Stan getting his memories back, or starting to get his memories back, felt like enough time. Like we were given for them to say goodbye and for Stan to pass down the shack to Seuss and everything. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this almost needed one more episode because the whole thing with Bill and them being trapped and all that stuff felt kind of rushed. And then especially the part with Stan losing his, having his mind wiped and not remembering any of them, that part especially felt rushed. And I understand that they probably weren't allowed or weren't given that time, but I felt like because I know Alex wanted to add a lot more things to the show that he wasn't able to, and I feel like at least for the ending it needed one more episode. I feel like it needed one more episode for, I mean, it was a 4-parter for the ending, but I feel like this last one, at least the part of winning against Bill and then the whole mind wipe thing and technically losing Stan, that felt rushed. Doesn't take away from last episode. It was still a great last episode for the series, but it did feel rushed for me. But nonetheless, I still loved the plot. Characters wise, characters for this episode, I love that Stan and Ford finally had the heart-to-heart talk. It wasn't long, but it was finally they talked to each other a bit and forgave each other. And I definitely wasn't expecting that plot twist of it being Stan instead of Ford to have his mind wiped. I feel like they knew that we would probably be affected way more if Stan lost his memory when Stan has been through the show from the beginning, so we're much more attached to his character versus Ford. Ford's a good character, and I like him and stuff, and I find him equal to Stan, but I'm if Ford had lost his memories, I'd be sad, but not as sad as Stan losing his memories, because this guy's, he's been with us in the twins since the beginning, and he's the one that's done the majority of the protecting of the twins and all that stuff and everything, so losing him feels more impactful than losing Ford. Memories, at least. Seuss inheriting the shack is great. I love that. I immediately was okay, Mabel and Dipper obviously can't, even though I said, Mabel and Dipper, but it's they can't, they're too young to even own a business like that. So giving it to Seuss also is sweet because Seuss looked at Stan as a father figure, so I think that's really cute. Waddles, I love that first, you almost had a, not Homeward Bound moment, but I know there's another movie or show where you had to say goodbye to a pet or something like that, they couldn't take him with them, but I love that Dan was just nah, you're taking this pig. If I had to deal with this pig, then your parents have to deal with him. And then you got both him and Ford threatening the bus driver to accept Waddles on board. That character-wise, I would say things were pretty well wrapped up with the characters. Little thing with Mabel, but at this point, it's not a big enough thing for me to complain about. That's like the only thing in terms of characters wise I felt wasn't addressed enough, but it's like whatever at this point. Animation I feel like was still as good as usual, or like as usual for the season as well as the past few episodes. But I feel like the backgrounds, they went extra for this final episode. Like there seemed to be more backgrounds that they focused on that looked really pretty. Like there's a lot of moments where they could be literal wallpapers, just the backgrounds themselves alone. So I would say animation, I would say the plot felt rushed, but was still a 10 out of 10 for the final. Characters, I'm not gonna let the nitpick get in the way, so 10 out of 10 for the characters. Animation, 10 out of 10. Music, like again, the music was really good, and I love the piano rendition of the intro. Like I love how you had the like guitar version of the intro for the fight scene of the house versus Bill, or the demons, and then you have the piano one for more sad, like bittersweet version. So I like that. So music, I would say 10 out of 10. So that's for the final episode. Now for my thoughts of the whole entire series. Plot wise, it's definitely not what I expected, because for Gravity Falls, I didn't know much about the series before I started it. Because honestly, I would say from Gravity Falls time to now, the only like newer cartoon I had watched was Gumball, The Amazing Adventures of Gumball. Other than that, I didn't watch Gravity Falls. I didn't watch Over the Garden Wall. I didn't watch there's an Adventure Time. I didn't watch all the big shows at this time period. Adventure Time never interested me. I did see Gravity Falls actually I didn't really see much of it at all. Whereas Adventure Time I did see quite a bit of clips and stuff, and it just never interested me. Over the Garden Wall, I saw a couple clips, and that one interested me, but I just never got around to it. That's actually gonna be the series I'm gonna be reacting to after Gravity Falls. Another one, The Adventures of Gumball I watched, but then I stopped after they changed Gumball's voice actor for like third time. But yeah, Gravity Falls, I honestly didn't. It's kind of funny that Gravity Falls was such a big series and I barely saw anything of it. Honestly, the only thing I saw of Gravity Falls was the fan animation. I don't remember who the YouTuber's name is, but he did a fan animation of Mabel and Dipper, where they Dipper's the one. It's funny how they kind of changed it, where Dipper was the one concerned about growing up and stuff, and Mabel's the one that had to comfort him. But that animation also gave off romantic vibes, and I honestly, going from that animation, I thought they were not related. At first I thought they were not related, and I thought they were cute, like as a ship, and then I found out later that they're actually like twins, and then I'm like, oh. And then immediately I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. And then I find out more recently, after getting into this, reacting to the series, that there's a whole side of the community that's twincest and all that stuff, and yeah, that's interesting. Don't get me wrong, they're cute if they weren't twins, but they're twins, so I'd much rather ship Dipper and Windy than Dipper and Mabel. But yeah, so that's kind of like my history on the series before I got into it. Yeah, I wasn't going into the series. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Like, I know they were twins, and they I didn't know they were going on vacation, or it was just, I didn't know any of it. So I would say it being about mysteries, them going to a place for summer vacation, it being Oregon. Honestly, I love that it was in Oregon, because Oregon's a place I'd like to visit and possibly live. So the fact that it's set in Oregon, I love it. And I think it's one of the only series that actually has been set in Oregon. I don't really remember. I think only The Goonies was set in Oregon. Other than that, not many major shows or movies have been set in Oregon that I can remember, or that I can think of. But I would say overall, the plot for the series, it kept me invested. There weren't really any like filler episodes that bored me. Some were like obviously less interesting than others, but that's to be expected. You can't really. It's very rare for a show to have every episode be like, oh, on the edge of your seat, or ooh, I really like this is amazing kind of thing. Like it was just like some were more chill, like the one with them falling into the pit, and for them to save money, they made it where there's no backgrounds and stuff. It's just them remembering small moments, or like them talking about a story, whatever they came up with. Like those kind of episodes were more the chill, nothing to do with the plot or anything, but they were still interesting enough or entertaining enough that they weren't bad, or they weren't boring. So overall, I would say the plot for the series was, I don't want to say the plot was amazing. It was great, but not amazing for me. I would say what made this show amazing, honestly, was the characters. Was the characters and the music, and then honestly the mystery in the series. And I absolutely love how Alex like put in codes, and he really involved the fan base with the show, where it's like even to the point of that prank where there was the leak of that episode just to fool people, make them think it was McGucket when it was actually like, it was just a whole bunch of cool stuff, and I don't think I've ever seen that for any series before. So I think that, on top of the characters, on top of the animation, and then honestly in season 2's animation, like first seasons was good, but the second season's kicked it up a whole notch. So I feel like he took a very, let's be honest, it's a pretty simple story, at least to an extent. Like you have siblings that come to visit their uncle in the middle of nowhere with Courage the Cowardly Dog, in the middle of nowhere pretty much. Strange things happen. The twins, or mainly the brother, wants to find out what's going on, and in doing so he comes across all these wacky situations, and then you end up finding out that there's a bigger creature that wants to take over the world and stuff. So it's kind of like, it's a simple plot with that, but what made it so great were the characters, the voice actors they picked. Everyone, all of the voices for everyone. The animation for season 2 was amazing. Music was amazing. And the mysteries that they added into the show, the codes and everything was amazing. So that's what made this show great, I feel like. And why, I may be wrong, this is for me at least, this is why I really like the show. Not sure if that's how the fan base, why they liked it, but I would say, in my opinion, that's what made the show great. As much as I want to continue, character here, I will. Because I've kind of when it comes to animation, plot, and music, I've kind of talked about it for each episode in a way, whereas characters, there's the arc for all the characters throughout the whole series. I like how Mabel and Dipper's relationship was similar to Stan's and Ford's, but in the sense of they may have bickered, but they still would make up, they would forgive each other and work past it, whereas Stan and Ford held on to things. They held on to grudges. They held on to bitterness and stuff. It wasn't as easy for them to move past stuff. And one of my friends who actually pushed me to watch this show, shout out to Gilly, he told me that it's a generational thing, and it makes sense when he said that, because I was complaining about it. I was like, why is this Stan? Because I was so frustrated in the episode when Stan and Ford literally costed them that circle moment, and it let Bill, like, it's not escape, but it failed. The circle failed because of them. I was complaining it, like, after my reaction, I went and complained to Gilly, and then when he brought up about their differences in generation, I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense, and I understand that now, that Dipper and Mabel are more of, I guess, our generation in a sense, because I think this was set in the early 2000s, so this is more like my generation, a little younger. That emotions are more talked about and more people are more open with each other, whereas Stan and Ford's generation were much more, they kept emotions in and they didn't really want to talk about stuff. They didn't know how to also talk about it, and they didn't understand them very well because they didn't have anyone to really explain it to them. And their parents, I mean, judging from Stan and Ford's parents, I highly doubt, especially their dad, was very soft or caring for them. He seemed like I mean, for him to kick out Stan because of what happened, you could just tell that's what they grew up with. So it's more understandable how Stan and Ford are, but at least they're open. They're more willing to see that, like Stan said, Mabel and was it Ford? Ford's the one that questioned, or no, Stan's the one that said, how is it those kids can, forgive each other so easy kind of thing, and Ford had to explain that, they're young, or no, it was Ford. Okay, I'm getting it mixed up, but whoever it was, one said that they, how can the kids forgive each other so easy, and the other one said that, it's because they're kids. In a sense, yes, but also probably their upbringing, they're just much more, I guess you could say emotionally mature, where they talk about it. They work through things. They don't just, oh, I'm upset, but I'm not going to talk about why I'm upset, and I'm going to hold it against you, and then I'm going to blow up on you. And by blowing up on you, I may destroy stuff or whatever, and then when I end up doing those things, I'll defend it. Or I'll go, well, that's not my problem. Like, it's pretty much like that. So I like the dynamics between, or I guess it is, not dynamics, but the mirror, but also not mirror of the two twins. Like the difference between the two pairs of twins. You have the young and the old. And so I like that. Then you had Zeus's character arc, which honestly, it took a bit. I didn't really care for Zeus for a majority of the show until, literally, I liked him more when he defended Mabel, like protected Mabel and Dipper from the zombies, but I didn't really feel more for him until the episode of his backstory with his father and stuff, and I'm like, oh, and then he looks at how he looks at Stan as a father. Then I'm like, oh, okay, there's more to him than just the idiot comedic side character gimmick thing, and I because I don't usually care for those, or not that I don't care for them, and it's that I don't feel anything for them. So if they get written off, like if they disappear, get killed, whatever, I'm just like, oh, okay, moving on. I just don't care. But by the beginning of season 2, I did care for Zeus, where I'm like, oh, if something does happen to him, I'll be a little sad. I like how they handled a young romance for Dipper and Wendy, where you have a crush on someone that's older than you. Granted, it's not by a ton, but when you're 12 versus 15, there's a difference. But when you're in your 20s, when both are in their 20s, being 22 versus 25, there's not a big at all. But it's understandable at their age. But I like how they handle it, and I also like the little jokes, like when Mabel was like, now you know how Wendy feels, and he's like, yeah like he realized that. I love that stuff. Maybe there's a future for them when they're older. No. I'm not against the ship when they're in their later teens. Yeah. Then you have the independent relationships, the twins aside, for them being different toward each other. Then you have the twins themselves, like Mabel and Dipper. I do love the relationship, and it's seeing that kind of sibling relationship that makes me wish I had that kind of relationship with my siblings. My 2 siblings are half sisters, and they're much older than me, so I never really got to have that. And seeing this kind of sibling relationship makes me wish I did have that. But at the same time, I also love being a single child. Especially when you see them fight and stuff, it's like, yeah, you know, at least I don't have to share anything, at least I don't have to. But at the same time, you know, there's moments where it's like, you know, your sibling's there for you, they protect you, or they come for you, and that kind of stuff. And it's just, those kind of things are where it makes me wish I had a sibling, but at the same time, again, being a single child, I think wins out for now. Or for how it is. Then you have the difference in how... But again, for Mabel and Dipper, there's a nitpick I have with Mabel. But I've already talked about it enough, so I'm not going to go into my rant with her again. Then you had Stan and Ford. They were fine when they were like Mabel and Dipper's age. And then once they hit their like late teens, and the whole college incident and all that stuff happened, it was just downhill for them from there until pretty much this finale, or the last few episodes of this season 2. So that's a long time to not have a great relationship with your sibling. I mean, they were in their late teens. Let's just say early 20s, late teens is when their relationship fell apart, and it wasn't until their 60s that they both forgave each other and became like brothers again. So that's a long time, but at least they're making up for it, and they're, you know, going on the Stan War too, like they always wanted when they were younger. So character wise, side characters were also done really well in the show. That's another thing about the show that I really like, is a lot of the side characters came back. I would say majority of them. The only ones that didn't were like Romando, the sock puppet guy, which I had a problem with. He was creepy. Those kind of characters didn't come back, which is understandable. But I like how the show brought back at least, like, let's say 98% of the side characters. Like, even the freaking boy band came back to help with the fight. You had that bear with like the 5 heads or whatever. He came back, like he came into the finale. Like, I like how they not reintroduce, but they bring back side characters that you wouldn't think were important. I mean, even their freaking unicorn came back. I would expect it to fight, but you know, especially when they fought it to take its hair. I don't know, maybe that gained its respect or something, but I just love how they did that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's much else to add, but I really did love the series. I am sad to see it's come to an end, but like I said earlier, I'm glad it's wrapped up in a nice way. I do wish it had a little bit more time, and that Alex had been able to put everything he wants to the show. But I understand when you get into certain networks like Disney and stuff where they're much more strict and those kind of things, it's hard. Or like it's kind of like a gaming company being underneath a publisher that tells you what to do, so you're like restricted. Honestly, that's kind of like why I love indie studios. That's like hell of a boss. Granted, they now have, or not they now have, but they have, you know, oh, don't make me forget this. Not Hell of a Boss. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm actually forgetting the show. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta look this up. I can't believe I've forgotten it. It's not Hell of a Boss. Just gotta be Has-Been Hotel. My god, I can't believe I forgot that. Has-Been Hotel, but you look at things like Has-Been Hotel, like Vivzy is working with the 824 studio to bring Has-Been Hotel to life, but there's still like, she still has creative control over it, like pretty strongly, and I feel like I wish I wish more creators had that kind of like control and freedom with their series. And I wish studios like Disney or companies, not even a studio, Disney's a company, a conglomerate at this point, would allow creators and the writers to do what they want with the series, with their series, because they know it best. It kind of reminds me of Nickelodeon with Avatar, and how Avatar did so well because the creators were able to they pretty much had everything set up for the show before they brought it to Nickelodeon. And then Nickelodeon took over more so when they were making Korra, and then stuff happened. Like, from what I understood, the first season with Amon was made because they weren't sure if it was gonna be greenlit for further seasons. And then Nickelodeon came to them and was like, "Yeah, we want more." Or like first it was like they didn't, like they were like, "Okay," and then they were like, "No, no more." And then they didn't really plan anything. And then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we need more seasons." So then they end up rushing to get a season, like stuff like that. And then you hear of, like, I'm sure I'm gonna hear of how Disney controlled Alex to an extent, and like what was allowed and what wasn't allowed, and how certain things that shouldn't have been allowed on the show, like blood leaking from the eyeballs and mouths of dead animals hanging on walls, but then they won't let in like a fart joke or something. Like, it makes no sense. I don't know. These big company studios need to get their act together when it comes to that stuff. Or I would love to see more studios like Vivzies get support. It's like kind of like independent music artists. It's like, who needs a record label anymore? Just go on YouTube, just publish your own stuff, and your fans will support you. You don't need record labels anymore. And I feel like the same for indie shows, like the unfortunate fate of Infinity Train, where it was canceled by Cartoon Network, and they didn't get to finish the series. That's another series I wanted to react to, because I had supported it from the beginning when they first uploaded the pilot onto the Cartoon Network YouTube channel. And then when it was greenlit by Cartoon Network, I was so excited, and now it's been canceled on their like second or third season and stuff like that. That's just, But all right, that's a whole nother thing I'm gonna end up ranting about. Overall, the show, 10 out of 10 for everything. If Alex ever does, like, I'm curious to see what Alex's next project would be, if he ever would make like teenage, like if he ever made Gravity Falls where Mabel and Dip were like teens or early 20s, that'd be interesting. I don't know what he could do with it in that sense, but I would not be disappointed to see that. I'd be happy. But if this is the last we ever see of anything to do with Gravity Falls, I'm okay with that too. It was a great series. But yeah. I think that's it for my thoughts for this series. Yeah, alright. I think I should probably just get right into the special bonus before it turns into an hour reaction just because of my thoughts. But yeah, alright, let me get into the bonus.
Globes, these rare photos of American presidents.
This is Gravity Falls.
Flip a dip dip. Gravity Falls has this secret dark side.
So, from what I understand, this is like a behind the scenes of Gravity Falls.
Move out of the way. You're ridiculous. They already know all of this, don't you? You know about the codes, the ciphers, and the clues.
It's just my personal box of mysterious secrets. Goodbye forever!
Well, this is getting weird.
Don't you think that's the mystery behind Gravity Falls?
This town has secrets you could.
That's another thing I loved about this series, is how they actually dabbled in like different animation styles, like the claymation, and then you have the finale where they went into like anime style. Like, I love what they did. This whole series was just mwah.
Begin to comprehend.
Gideon's another one.
Makes me laugh and drool a little bit, and maybe I need a new diaper. The point is, there is so much more.
So much stuff got like not slipped past, but got by the censorship of this series of Disney that I'm surprised at. But then Disney didn't allow things that just like didn't make any sense.
But I also have access to the other side. I am Alex Hirsch, the creator.
Those have to be the voice actors for them, right?
To share the inner workings of his mind. Have you come to steal my eyes?
I don't know what to say. I have so many questions.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
I'm never gonna reveal these.
Jess wanted to start a business.
I don't want ads, thank you.
Secrets, guys. You can't make me.
I will skip this though. Oh no, whispers. Feels weird not having any whispers.
Time Baby, if Time Baby's ever trying to fight you, just leave the room. He doesn't have object permanence. He'll think you're not
How
there.
young is Alex when he was, or how young was Alex when he made the series?
Time Baby is a big dumb baby.
I am not.
What are you gonna do, Time Baby? Huh? You gonna zap me?
Enough.
I'd say if you're rewatching the series all over again, pay particular attention to the backgrounds.
Maybe there's nothing creepy going on in this room.
In Gideon Rises, we see a flashback of the hand of the unknown author writing the journals. We see a skull, we see a polished desk, but we also see a bit of a rainbow reflection. A really keen-eyed fan might notice that inside the secret room in Carpet Diem, there is a triangular glass prism that's casting a rainbow reflection. It's a subtle way to let you know that that room belonged to the author. I don't think anyone's actually ever figured that one out yet.
This whole shack is full of weird secrets.
I didn't notice that.
Is based on my memory of how it felt to be a kid.
So Alex was mature like Dipper
When I was
then?
around Dipper's age, I would record myself and play it backwards. I tried to learn to speak backwards.
Dipper Pine. I knew it. It's mind control after all.
I didn't have a lot of friends.
Time Baby is not surprised.
Time Baby doesn't know as much as he thinks he knows.
I know all there is to know.
When I was in middle school, I was in a class with a kid who had, no fault of his own, some really unusual acne. Every day it was a little different.
Show me, show me.
So I would sort of chart the constellations from my sketchbook, and I remember one day he had a perfect Big Dipper, the exact right dots on his forehead.
That's how you got your nickname. I thought your parents just hated you or something.
Reveal his first
Dipper's
name.
not that bad of a name, honestly.
It begins with a D and ends with an ipper.
My name is Dopper.
And Roderick?
Actually,
You, dear boy.
Confirm.
No.
Now.
I think Time Baby needs a nap.
Your face needs a nap.
Dipper and Mabel's first names have a similarity, but I will not tell you what that similarity is.
Mystery twins?
I thought you hated that.
The amount of
I'm
letters?
starting to accept it.
Fine, let's move on to Mabel.
No.
She is a simple creature with nothing to hide.
Mabel?
Every time she's not on camera in an
I
episode,
feel like she's
off
your
knitting
usual 12-year-old.
The next week's sweater.
Except for the knitting. I don't think every 12-year-old is knitting.
Mabel is inspired by my twin sister, specifically the way she acted in elementary school.
So he had a
I think
twin.
6th grade, it finally happened where, like, my sister grew taller than me.
She's got exactly 1 millimeter on you.
The next year, I just, like, doubled in height.
Alpha twin! Alpha twin!
I am the alpha twin now, if you ask me.
The pool. Sparkling oasis of summer enchantment.
Yeah, nothing like sitting in a moist tub with strangers. It's like the bus, but wet.
Grunkle Stan is based on my grandpa Stan.
Oh, really?
He certainly has secrets.
Sweet Sally.
Share them.
Get you on the rewind.
If you're rewatching the series, watch closely how Stan talks about family.
Today we're gonna have some real family fun. Now who wants to put on some blindfolds and get into my car? Yay!
Thinks about family,
You had me at shut up, old man.
and it will make a lot more sense. You'll notice that some of the
Uh-huh.
puzzle pieces have fit together.
Don't worry about what's in the basement. You belong up here with me and Mabel.
Yeah.
Now that we know Grunkle Stan is a twin brother, when you watch an episode like Headhunters,
You need anything? I love this guy. Don't you go nowhere.
you see how distraught he is that a wax double of him gets destroyed. You might understand the psychology there a little bit better.
No! Wax Stan! He's been murdered!
Interesting, but we must continue forward.
Man, he really.
Seuss secrets?
Seuss is definitely one of my favorite characters to voice.
I ate a man alive tonight.
One of our writers, Jeff, he kind of speaks in weird, made-up hip-hop terms.
Yeah!
And Seuss starts saying those kinds of things.
You stay out of this, Dippy Fresh!
Dippy Fresh didn't do anything to you, dog. Say, girl dude. What's up, Hambone?
Explain where this Seuss came from.
Seuss was inspired by someone I went to college with. This guy, Jesus
Really?
Chambreau.
I'm great at
Hey,
fixing stuff,
Jesus.
like video
Oh,
games, having a
Seuss.
sort of mustache.
He was kind of a mystery, but he was always in the computer lab, and he always wanted to help you.
Handyman of the apocalypse. At your service.
He would see you and just be like, hey dude, you need help with the printer? He'd be like, no, I'm good. Be like, oh, I'm gonna help you fix the printer.
I should have thought of this years ago.
Oh, whoops, I broke the printer. Hey, you want my help fixing the printer that I just broke?
Wow.
I'm trapped in the game.
He was always causing and solving problems.
Don't lose your cameras.
Wait, lose the cameras?
Don't!
Dude, I just threw 2 away.
But it always came from the most sincere place.
My wisdom is both a blessing and a curse.
It's like you want to help, but then by helping you cause problems. Or you make it worse.
Everyone poured the coolest person they knew into a pot, and Wendy was bored.
Boosh! You put all this stuff up here?
I may or may not sneak up here during work, all the time, every day.
Wendy, you're the coolest person I know.
I know, dude. Tell me about it later.
Alex, what about the other characters? Commencing lightning round. You have 60 seconds.
Lazy Susan. She used to have 2 functioning eyes until a science experiment zapped one of them.
Ah! My eye!
I don't think the guy I named Deputy Durland after knows that there's a cartoon show with his name in it. Hopefully he never finds out. Sorry, Durland, if you ever discover this. Toby Determined is days away from giving up on everything.
Your microphone's a turkey baster, Toby.
It certainly is.
Next question.
Time Baby is easily distracted by jingling keys. Little weakness.
No, I'm not.
Preston runs a mud flap factory, and his wife was
A
Miss
mud flap?
Mudflap 85 or whatever, and he just decided, oh, she is gorgeous.
Tonight we will enjoy only the finest of tastes and only the snootiest of laughter.
Oh, that guy. God.
So Pacifica is secretly of Mudflap blood.
I need your help.
You're the worst.
Of course, they came from a mud flap family.
Gideon. Gideon's a villain.
Mother.
There was a lot of brainstorming about what he might be like, in particular, what his design was and what was going on with his hair.
One of those infernal gummy koalas has gotten into my perfect hair!
We gave him big hair with the thought that maybe there would be a malformed second twin that Gideon hid with his hair, that maybe Gideon had a twin as well.
No!
Oh, ew.
I don't think there is anymore.
Ew, that'd be so bad.
He is a danger to our universe. His name must not be mentioned, Alex.
Bill,
Seriously?
when we came up with him, was 100% inspired by the idea of what if I took the triangle from the back of the dollar
Of
bill,
course.
dressed him up with the top hat,
That's great.
and stupid little arms and legs, and named him Bill after the dollar.
But you can call me your new lord.
That's
of
amazing.
eternity.
Something
He
so
actually
simple.
was originally going to be green. One of our artists
Oh,
said,
yeah?
no, he looks kind of weird. He looks like a leaf. So we made him yellow.
And now he looks like a nacho.
Or a Dorito.
There's a lot of things like that where a simple design actually has a greater significance. In the episode Dreamscapers, we see that Mabel is wearing a sunset sweater. That is meant to symbolize the descent from our storytelling from a brighter story to a darker story.
Oh, interesting.
And we set up the 2-parter with Gideon's takeover of the town.
Once I find the final journal, I'll rule this town with you as my queen.
In the original plot for Dreamscapers,
It definitely got
we
darker
imagined
in
that Bill
season
was
2.
going to enter all the characters' dreams, and we were going to see inside Seuss's mind, and we were going to see inside Mabel's mind. We simplified the story to Stan's mind, but a lot of the ideas from Mabelland came from that alternate idea. Also, in the episode, we introduced Bill for the first time.
Oh, Gravity Falls, it is good to be back. And I take it you're some kind of living ventriloquist dummy?
Bill's a real bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. We'll be right back to the show on Watch Disney XD.
New Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Oh my god, they actually have a commercial for this too.
Ren is attacking.
We now return to The Duchess Approves, starring Sturley Stemble-Burgess as the Duchess and Grampton St. Rumterfrabble as Irascible Coxswain, Sandra Blugget Hampter Fuppenshire.
Did you say cockswing?
Forget it. I'm using a time wish.
I always thought that if I was to make a TV show how great would it be if I made it full of all those crazy backwards messages and
Oh my
secret
God.
codes and puzzles that if there was any kid out there as weird as me, they would actually find the thing they were looking for. Fans are a million times smarter than I am. I have learned that the hard way. And so season 2, we said, yes, let's up the ante. Let's have a code that's harder to crack.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did the house have a code on it?
Harder to crack.
That is a freaking code on the top window. Oh my God.
Let's have a code word that is
Cypher. Oh my God.
Just the janitor kissing that whack settler woman again.
Oof, remind me to erase that from my memory.
Oh
So be it. Probably the best
my
hidden
God.
code we've ever had was in the episode The Love God. Dipper and Mabel are running through a crowded festival, and the letters are spaced out in the background. They're so spread out, I didn't think anyone would ever be able to find them. Sure enough, 10 minutes after the episode aired, somebody had
10
cracked it.
minutes?
It only took me 15 seconds.
The other thing we did this season that we didn't do in season 1 is at the very end of the episode, there's a flash, and you see a single frame of one larger puzzle, and that was all leading up to the big reveal of Stan's twin brother.
That's the big twist we were waiting for.
What a ripoff! I predicted that like a year ago.
There's a lot of things in a show that you just can't help it that just slip in.
I've come this far. Who could possibly catch me now?
The six finger.
Society of the Blind Eye, Stan is working on the portal, and a piece of debris bangs his hand. We see him bandaging his hand up. And then in the next few episodes, he still has that bandage on his hand.
Folk music! It's the Woodstick Festival!
It took a while before we got to the big answer about what the portal was. Stan's bandage on his hand was a way to show, don't worry, it's still happening. We haven't forgotten. These stories are connected. There's a lot of things like that where something will change and stay changed for the rest of the series.
Bigger.
Too big!
This is some kind of magic-y thing, isn't it?
Zeus, look! A real dinosaur tooth?
There's something huge going on right under our noses.
Puma's shirt, Panther shirt. Puma's shirt, Panther shirt.
Tambry sends me the
Oh my God.
Each audience member gets to be Dipper and have a mystery to uncover.
In this town, anything is possible.
And not what he seems, Mabel's wearing a key.
Our Grunkle Stan might shoplift the occasional tangerine, but he's not some evil supervillain.
This is because Mabel herself is ultimately the key to unlocking the portal.
Look into my eyes, Mabel! You really think I'm a bad guy?
He's lying!
Shut it down now! Mabel, please!
10, 9.
Can you use please?
It's time for Wheel of Secrets.
That red stuff on Norman's mouth, is it blood or is it jam? It really is jam. The gnomes recently had their gnome queen die, and as part of her funeral ceremony, they were all eating bereavement jam.
This is normal.
Originally, the multi-bear was going to be called
Multi-bear.
Bear, and we specifically wanted a line where Dipper could say, there, bear.
Oh, that's a multi-bear.
We have a reason that Blended is bald. When he time travels, oftentimes he does it poorly and catches on fire. He has to slap himself and say, pat down. He's burned off all his hair from botched time traveling.
I don't know if it's some kind of paradox or if I'm just really tired.
We ended up writing a song for McGucket where he sings about the Gobblewonker and how it's real and how it's gonna get you. And then we learned two things. One, the song was too long. Two, McGucket's a terrible singer.
That's probably why I live in the dump.
In A Tale
My
of Two
God.
Stans, we see that Stan's science fair project that failed in high school was a football robot called Footbot. This is apparently a dream he has had for a very long time, and it's a very dumb dream.
You didn't win anything.
One secret about the show that not a lot of people know is that some
I want
names
Stan's
of
hat.
incidental characters or side characters that don't really matter in the show,
Hey, I'm Gabe Benson, y'all.
This is Lee and Nate.
a number of them are based on boys my sister had a crush on in
Wow.
middle school and elementary school.
Awesome comeback, Mabel.
Don't treat me like a child, Zyler.
She called me up and she's like, what is that guy's name doing in there? I was like, don't worry, I won't tell anybody. So please don't tell anybody.
Oh my God.
My sister loved not just one boy band, not just two boy bands, but every boy band that was a ripoff of the other boy band.
Hey, Dipper.
Hey, Dipper.
Hey, Dipper.
Hey, Dipper.
Hey, Dipper.
Wow.
And she had a poster for all of them on her wall.
Whoa, is that true, Mabel Dog?
How is there enough room in your heart to be obsessed with this many boy bands?
Team Chris! He was talking to me!
A lot of the
Oh my
shows,
God.
us making fun of each other or our girlfriends or our siblings.
Show me the object of ridicule.
When Mabel does the smile dip and she's on this crazy sugar trip.
Would you like to eat my candy paws?
And she's riding this dolphin and says,
Onward, Aoshima!
now I go to Comic-Con and 100 kids chant, Onwards Aoshima to me, having no idea that that's just the name of our director, John Aoshima.
Oh my god.
I am charmed by your sense of humor.
Mermando is voiced by Matt Chapman, one of our writers, who does many
Wow.
voices on the show. He's many of the members of several times.
But he keeps us in cages. That junk is straight brutal, girl.
He is the Austrian prince.
There's something about you. I can't get you out of my head. You're so bold and confident.
And he is Abuelita.
I vacuumed the walls now.
Chandra Jimenez, a real reporter.
One thing I can tell you about Chandra is that her name is inspired by one of our background artists,
Oh
Sean
my.
Jimenez.
I'm Chandra Jimenez, and I ate a rat for dinner.
Something that not everyone might know about Agent Powers is that he is voiced by Nick Offerman,
If you have evidence of these claims, we should talk.
who is a hilarious comedian.
I was born with a rare disorder that makes me physically incapable of experiencing humor.
I can confirm. Not funny.
Something people might not know about Agent Trigger, his sort of cheekbones and chin were kind of modeled after one of our writers, Jeff Rowe, who is the most attractive man in our writer's room.
We survived. Barely. I used Trigger as a human shield.
And in case you didn't notice, they've been watching the twins the whole time.
Yeah, I never noticed
What
them.
about the Lammy dance, Alex? That was you, wasn't it?
Now is not the time to talk about the Lammy dance.
One of our writers, Michael Rianda, his sister, when he was a child, dressed him up as a lamb and made him do a dance. A lot of people think that was me.
Who wants a lammy, lammy, lammy? I do.
Fortunately, it was not. That specifically comes from his traumatic childhood memory.
Oh my god.
So it's like all the writers have a secret sort of personality trait that sneaks into the show.
Putting a rainbow wig on a big white gorilla, singing the drive-in song. Headlights are out, can't really see where I'm going.
That's just something I do. Like if I'm looking for my keys, I'll just be like, where are my keys? I'm losing my mind. Where'd they go?
Walk into my car.
Time is running out.
It's so amazing how much of a wide range of voices Alex can do.
Chanting, I think, would happen a lot in the writer's room. Michael Rianda, if it would be lunchtime, he would
Who
do
voiced
lunchtime,
Miranda? I really want to know.
I think he did the first chant that ever appeared in the episode, which was all the teens going, Thompson, Thompson. It's just an obnoxious thing to do, and once you get used to it, you can't stop. There's plenty of little cameos of mine in the show where my face will show up. People assume
Oh
that
my
that's
God.
like me, like, oh, haha, get this, like a little ego boost.
Oh.
The crew likes to make fun of me. And whenever they put my face in the show, that's their way of doing it.
Wow.
Dear Mom and Dad, we've been in Gravity Falls for a few months and so much has happened.
Ultimately, Gravity Falls isn't just about codes and Easter eggs, it's about characters.
You need an amiable sidekick with a pickup truck?
You know I do.
I know who my family is now. And it's you dudes.
Somebody's in love.
I never even got a chance to tell you. I'm like in love with you, Wendy.
I always kinda knew.
Everything I've worked for, everything I care about, it's all for this family.
One of these days, you and me are gonna sail away from this dumb town.
When the summer's over, you give me my house back, you give me my name back, and this Mystery Shack junk is over forever.
I guess I didn't realize it was already our last one.
Look, things
Don't make me
aren't
sad
gonna
again.
Stay frozen this way. It's part of growing up. Things change. Summer ends.
This summer, I've seen some amazing things, but nothing as amazing as you and your sister.
Free Willy.
Oh no, what do I do? Stanley! Stanley! Do something! Stanley!
This journal told me there was no one in Gravity Falls I could trust. But when you battle 100 gnomes side by side with someone, you realize that they've probably always got your back.
I mean, who would sacrifice everything they've worked for just for their dumb sibling?
Don't worry, bro. Wherever we go together.
I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but whatever it is, you don't have to fear because we'll do it together.
Is there no one who will save the people of this town?
Let's beat Bill and grow up together.
All right, guys, are you ready for this? Sorry, Mabel-Ann. It's time to burst your bubble!
Let's get him, dudes.
And the biggest secrets are yet to be revealed.
Aw.
Get it! Get it! Get it! Get it! Get it!
Are we really gonna end it with nothing but him going get it?
You guys aren't actually gonna put this on TV, are you? All right, I'm done here.
No, that's the end. Dang it. Well, I can't. That's not really like a video of like. I was kind of hoping they would show more of the codes for like the endings of like each episode or something. But it's also fine because I feel like it just had to do with like either that episode or the next episode coming up. But I don't think there's much more for me to add. I already pretty much summarized my thoughts of the whole show in the final episode, and that video didn't really leave me with anything else to say except that honestly, you could tell that Alex and his team loved this series, and they had a lot of fun making it, and I still hope that they make another Gravity Falls, whether it's where Mabel and Dipper are like late teens, early 20s, but at the same time, would it just be them? Because would Grunkle Stan and Ford be alive still? Because I feel like if they were gone, those are two key characters that honestly they would have to bring back, I would say, because Mabel and Dipper are great, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it was the combination of everyone that made it such a good series. So, in that sense, I'm completely fine if they never make another, or they never make another show that has to do with Gravity Falls. Just leave it in a nice little wrapped up package. But yeah, I think that's it for this video, and thank you so much to everyone who has watched my reaction from the first episode to now for Gravity Falls. Like I mentioned before, the next animated series I will be reacting to will be Over the Garden Wall, and that was one I was actually planning on reacting to before Gravity Falls, but again, one of my friends, Gilly, is the one who pushed me to react to Gravity Falls first, since it was a much longer show. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my reactions to this amazing series. If you'd like my early access to my full unedited reactions, go join my Patreon. Link in the description and pinned comment below. Anyway, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, night, and keep burning bright. See ya!